Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Invincible. We're now on to episode 4, which is called Neil Armstrong, Eat Your Heart Out. That's a really long title. So, these episodes have been getting progressively more interesting and dark and layered, which I very much enjoy. And we had the last episode, the main takeaways being the fact that we've got the demon detective who is clearly onto the fact that there's something very off with Omniman / Nolan's story about what happened on the fateful night. And we also saw that towards the end, they released the villain that can clone himself. We saw that Robot did it to give the new Guardians of the Globe a new pressure test to see how they're going to do against real threats, because we saw that the training exercise was an absolute fiasco. So, lots going on here. We're still moving along. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in this episode, so we're going to jump right in. But before we do, you know the drill. If you've been here before and you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when I do more reactions to Invincible, as well as a lot of other shows that are in the same vein. So hopefully you will join us. We would love to have you, and it's a lot of fun around here. Okay, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now.
The desert is unforgiving, Zaid.
Not as much as what's under it.
You ever flicked a cigarette on me? I would've. Welcome back. You look awful. Aw, did you think that you weren't gonna be this first sacrifice? Aw. These dumb cult members, you know, they don't understand that when it comes to these things, they're always the first to go.
I can't believe I still have to exercise.
What, you thought being a Viltrumite was easy?
Yes, clearly. Superman never went to the gym. Not talking about Henry Cavill, though, because he is... Woo!
Where's Mount Everest?
It's the high one.
First, he didn't know where Mount Rushmore is. He doesn't know where Everest is. This kid needs to be in school, clearly, first and foremost.
We've ended wars all over the universe, brought peace to thousands of galaxies.
By colonizing?
Lifted alien races out of the mud.
That's one of the most supremacist speeches I've ever heard.
When your grandparents died,
Did you kill them?
lost for a long time.
You killed them, didn't you?
They were the only family I had.
And you killed them.
I am Russian, my dear. I know how governments work, and yours is no different.
Thank you.
Searching for the killer. Is he? No one is in jail. Did Joseph ever lie to you? Of course. Heroes do.
Every day.
I only made the mistake of believing him once, when he told me everything was going to be fine.
Bless you, Olga. And yes, your man be lying to you. I don't know why I feel like he probably cheats, too. Nolan looks slimy like that. Ooh, private browsing. What you into, Dad? What kind of freaky stuff you in? So you feeling him like that? You like a little underworld action?
Boy, I know.
Like, why'd you open 10 windows, ma'am?
Quit rubbing it in.
Are tabs completely foreign to you?
Olga wants me to sell her house. Oh, the poor woman's barely holding it together. She thinks there's a conspiracy around the murders.
Great. You just killed Olga. You happy, Debbie?
What?
I hope she noticed that facial expression. But yeah, we all know Debbie's dead now.
This is like...
Not Debbie, sorry. Olga. Nice knowing you, girl.
I wanted to bring one home from the Philippines, but they don't exactly fit in a backpack.
Maybe this is your lucky... Oh my god, look at how cute those are.
Those are rice.
The art of distraction is not yours, sir.
You murdered 7 people. Maybe it was you. Maybe you came to finish the job you started with the Guardians. You're the demon, after all.
Why would he just say that out loud? I mean, I actually appreciate that Darkblood had the balls to say that.
Wife already suspects. How long until son does too?
Why?
Go fuck yourself, Darkblood.
Is that humanly possible with a demon? Or? But besides that, why would he endanger them that way when he knows this guy killed 7 people? time do they have, literally, for him to sit here and create an entire new cloning lab? Ew, did he just put burgers in there? Gross.
Now that I'm a guardian, I can bang anyone I want.
Gross.
Glad we have an understanding. Ow! What the hell? I forget how soft humans are.
This robot has attitude. What did you do? Yeah, I thought that was shade.
Come on, you're the wife of the most powerful man on Earth. You shouldn't have to deal with work stuff.
Ew, sir.
Seriously say that?
What?
Seriously.
I'm not just your wife, Nolan.
Good night, Mark Grayson.
That was not subtle.
Really gonna miss. I can zip up to Mars and be back tomorrow.
The fact that you don't know how far away Mars is exactly
Thank you.
why you shouldn't be missing.
He has no geography experience at all.
That's right.
This is why dating regular people is a pain in the ass.
Sure, but it's not like dating Rex worked out.
Too soon.
The subject now.
Look, once you tell someone your secret identity, that's it.
Yeah,
So, if you're gonna tell Amber the truth, you better be serious about her.
I was about to say.
Are you serious about her, Mark?
The weather continues.
I think it's a little too soon to answer that question as much as I like Amber. He about to break up with her, isn't he? Oh no.
I figured you need. Please don't lose interest in me.
I figure you've banked about 2 weeks of interest.
That's fair. That is fair. I'm also curious about Amber. I want to believe she's normal, but I have a sense that maybe she's more than what we see. Sorry, that shouldn't be funny. But I don't think they know that he's even out there.
Hey, you asked me what we do. We do this.
What, have sex? I mean, great, but that's like an hour out of the day. Maybe, since he's Viltrumite.
Shit!
He wasn't even looking away that long, or was he?
Caesar. Cecil thinks I had something to do with what happened to the Guardians.
'Cause you did!
There's a dragon behind you.
Please,
No!
trust me.
I trust you.
You have no idea how much I needed to hear you say that.
Now I don't have to murder you in your sleep.
Come on.
That's a very interesting moment because on the one hand, it was a dick move, but on the other hand, I mean, superheroes should be allowed to, you know, have a vacation. If she doesn't see through that, though, I don't even know what to say, because her saying that she trusted him probably just saved her life, for now. The fact that he uses a pen and paper, it's kind of funny.
Not exactly. Wait, you know where they are? And you speak English?
We speak Russian.
Oh, is this a Viltrumite thing where you understand other languages? Because that's kind of cool. Dude, I think you can carry them. I'm just saying. You're strong. I was about to say, thank you. Ooh, that scene's cute. So have we made enemies of the Martians now?
No hard feelings, right? I'm gonna take a rock if that's okay. Yeah?
Dang it, I knew it. I'm like, I bet you one of them got that damn thing on him.
Yeah, just make sure you never show it to any geologist or anyone who knows anything about rocks.
No, that's exactly what she's going to do. Oh, back to hell.
Why?
That's the problem with demons. You only see good and evil, black and white. Well, I need to keep things gray until I can figure out why Nolan killed the Guardians and how to stop it.
Say I'd see you in hell.
You're a bad man, Cecil.
Oh, now you care about the demon? He's not dead. He's just back in hell.
Isn't that worse?
Right? It's an interesting thing because what he did may not have been terrible just because, quite frankly, the demon was a little reckless, but what in God's name is that?
Phase 1 begins. Everything's fine.
Gross. What was that? Who made that sound? Well, guys, that was episode 4 of Invincible, and very interesting. Not a lot happened in the sense of like the action this time around, which I'm actually okay with because we know when they go hard, they go really hard with the action here. When they go, it's like traumatizing. So it's nice to get a little breather in between all of the gory mayhem that this show can bring. This one was a little bit more of a psychological attack, if it were, as far as, you know, we now know that Nolan he's very aware. Like I think there was a little bit of a question in the first 2 episodes about whether or not he really knew what he was doing when he took out the Guardians, but I think it's 100% clear now that he is very aware of what he did and that he is covering for himself. And the parts that made me nervous were whenever anybody indicated that they might suspect him or shine a light on the fact that he's not who he says he is, or potentially might turn his family against him, that's when we saw Nolan get that look where I was like, oh. So like, we did not see Olga after that first scene. She just went back to Russia, but I gotta wonder whether or not Nolan killed her. I have a feeling she's not with us anymore. I feel like he probably got rid of her because if she's potentially able to put seeds of doubt into Deborah, he's not having it. And then when what's his name, Darkblood, started throwing out, oh, your wife suspects and so does your son, or your son might soon, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this guy killed people who were supposed to be his comrades. You think he won't kill his wife? You think he won't kill Mark? Like, anyway, I mean, I suppose, you know, whatever, we don't know how how nuanced Darkblood is with human emotion, or I guess technically Nolan's not human, but you get my point. But that was just a really reckless thing for him to say and to provoke Nolan. Like, I don't even know. I mean, obviously I'm assuming as a demon he's technically immortal, but still, you don't want to piss off the super strong man who could go around and kill a lot of people if he loses it, you know what I mean? So maybe in that way, I'm not mad at Cecil for banishing Darkblood. That kind of brings it back to, Cecil and Cecil, whatever his name is, and whether or not his protecting Nolan is the right thing to do. Now, he said at the end before he banished Darkblood that his main reason for doing it was because, you know, exposing Nolan at this point is not going to be helpful. Like he said, I need things to be gray, as he put it, and I got to figure out why and how to stop him. And I mean, those are all valid, right? Again, Nolan's not the kind of guy you can just throw a pair of cuffs around, right? If he is guilty, which we know he is guilty, but I think Cecil's thinking, if he is guilty, how do we prove it? And if we can prove it, what does that mean? Do we want the strongest person on the planet to be ticked with us? Do we want him to be angry? If he wiped out our strongest Guardians, he'll take out the agency and anybody else who stands in his way in quick succession, easily, because they're not superpowered like him. So he is right in that you don't want to anger the crazy Viltrumite, if that's the case. But I think he also wants to believe that Nolan didn't just do this out of some cold, twisted, sociopathic hate. I mean, at this point, I think... Okay, we'll get to the reasoning behind it in a minute, but let me finish this. But yes, I understand where Cecil is coming from. Usually these directors at these big, shady institutions, they always have to think above just the right or wrong, yes or no, right? He's got to kind of think about the bigger picture, and it's messy, and a lot of times it's not as binary, as good or bad as he mentioned. And the sad reality is that they still need Nolan at this point. Like, they've really obviously built this world around relying on Nolan to take care of a lot of things, which we saw when he was in wherever they were, France or Italy or wherever, where the dragon showed up and Nolan was like, I'm not dealing with it, and I don't have to. But obviously he could have probably taken care of that dragon in a couple of seconds and saved thousands or millions of dollars of damage and lives. So I understand somewhat where Cecil is coming from. This is the less stomachable part of being the head of an organization like this. He probably makes a lot of shady side deals and gray area type of moves in order to keep the masses safe, per se, versus the few. And like I said, with Nolan, I think he's been for a very long time trying to figure out the best way to maneuver around him, because we heard in the last episode that he's tried to bring Nolan on to the Team Guardians, but I don't think it was so much about being part of a team so much as trying to figure out a way to control Nolan, which is something you know that they're trying to figure out. And so, yeah, it's an interesting place for him to be. And as I said, it sucks for Darkblood. Hopefully he will be back at some point. I mean, if he escaped hell once, he can do it again. But I understand why he's doing it, because this Darkblood, bless him, it's very, like he said, the way he's going about it is a little too blunt. And it's probably going to cost a lot of collateral lives if he kept poking Nolan. And so I just really do wonder how far he'll go, because that kind of brings me into what I was about to mention before, the trip that he took with Deborah to their first date location. You know, we saw that Nolan was visibly shaken at the idea that Darkblood planted that Deb was doubting him and that Deb was potentially pulling away from him. And I don't... The way they're writing Nolan right now is really interesting, because I don't think it's all BS. Like, it's very hard to trust him. Obviously, our trust in him will always be shaken because of what we saw in episode 1. But he also seems to have moments of authenticity. And I want to believe that he genuinely loves Deb, or is feeling whatever the closest approximation of love is for Deborah. And I do think he loves Mark to some extent, but I still am not convinced that he loves them enough to protect them. When they went on that date, and, well, before they went on the date, and he said to her, you know, I really love you, I love our son, but I never thought I'd have a family. And that, I think, was a lot of truth. I think he does care for them, but I also believe that he never thought he would have people on Earth that he would actually have an emotional attachment to, and that he's still not sure how to navigate those waters. And when he went and took her to their first date location, and Deborah said that she dumped him after their first date, and the reason she did it was because she's like, you expected me to worship you, and when I didn't, you didn't like that. That, I feel like, is possibly the core of all of Nolan's issues, right? Is that in his mind, I think right now, he thinks Deborah does worship him. And I think in a way she does. Not in the sense of like, oh, he can do no wrong and I'll never call him on anything, but more of a, we saw how easily she kind of bended back to his will when he said that Cecil was the one challenging his character. Right? Like, I think he like, she still wants to see Nolan as this good person throughout all of it, which I don't blame her. I mean, she's sharing a bed with the man every night, and she popped out one of his kids. Of course, you want to believe the best in the person you love, but we know her gut is telling her that things are off, and she knows, she sensed it. That little bit of worship, that little bit of admiration is probably blinding her from being more critical as far as what he's doing and the way he's acted since Mark's gotten his powers. He believes that the humans owe him something, and I've said that several times now, that he really does believe, I think, that Earth owes him something. And if they dare to challenge him or challenge the way he does things, we see the way he snapped in episode 2, where he was like, you don't get to challenge me. Like, how dare you? I'm the superior here. I'm taking care of your lowly planet. You don't get to tell me anything. I really think that if it came between absolute obedience in his mind versus Deborah's life, he would choose the obedience. He does not want anyone defying him, and definitely not the woman that he's sharing his bed with. Which, on a side note, I don't think Deborah's the only one. But that's a whole other story. I think at the first sign that Mark might surpass his father shows up, we're going to see the full shift, because we've already seen it. He is treating Mark differently. He's treating Mark like competition. He's using every opportunity he has to remind Mark of how much stronger and superior that he is. But I think the first sign that Mark really shows that he might surpass his dad, that's where we're going to see the real Nolan come out. And I think that's his big fear around Mark having his powers, is that he's no longer the sole supreme leader, potentially. But yeah, outside of that, obviously the Mars mission, we brought a new threat back to Earth, which I really wish Mark had talked about what he talked about with the King. But obviously, then we're not going to have some fun stuff to deal with in upcoming episodes. I like him. I like him and Amber. I think they're super cute. I don't want to get too invested yet, because I know there's still the Adam Eve thing, and we know he had a little crush on her, and that he just basically didn't go for it initially because she was in a relationship, and right now she's in that rebound territory. But yeah, I don't want to get invested, just in case he might go back there the second Eve decides to really make a move. And then, of course, we saw at the end, whatever the hell Robot's working on with that weird-ass clone. He took some blood from Splody Boy, whose name I can't remember. So what the heck is he actually doing? And is he potentially trying to create an amalgamation of all of these supers, maybe, which is terrifying. We'll have to find out, but that was a very interesting ending scene. So, again, this episode is really, really good. Like I said, nice change of pace from all the crazy gore and death, but still very, very tense in other ways, so I enjoy that. What did you guys think of the episode? Please leave your comments below. I love reading them and getting involved in this conversation with you guys. And if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please hit subscribe. Until next time, see ya!